The alien queen's baby had been crying for hours, until the human man held her. The grand halls of the Varellan palace were built from crystal and gold, but that night, even their beauty was drowned beneath one thing: the relentless, heart-wrenching cries of a baby. The queen's daughter, infant heir of the Varellan Empire, had not stopped crying in hours. The palace healers had tried everything: vibrational pacifiers, soothing light pulses, bio-scented mists, even the sacred lullabies of the ancient priestesses. Nothing worked. Queen Eloreth stood with her back to the throne, her usually regal face etched with exhaustion. Her long silver tendrils of hair, symbols of status, were undone. Her shoulders were tense. Her golden eyes shimmered with helpless worry. "She is not ill," one healer said nervously. "All vitals are stable." "Then why does she cry?" Eloreth whispered. No one had an answer. Then a quiet voice said, "May I try?" All heads turned. A human stood just outside the main arch, tall, plain, dressed in simple planetary attire. His name was Jonah Wren, an off-worlder who'd arrived weeks ago as part of the Alliance envoy. Not a politician, not a soldier, just a botanist. Quiet, observant, kind. Queen Eloreth narrowed her eyes. "You are no caregiver." "No," Jonah said, walking forward slowly. "But I've held crying children before. My little sister, years ago. My niece. Sometimes it's not about medicine. It's about presence." The guard stepped forward. "He is not of Varellan blood." "He will not harm her," Eloreth said, holding up a hand. She looked at Jonah with a strange curiosity. "You believe you can calm the royal air when none of our own can?" "I don't know," Jonah said honestly, "but I can try." The queen studied him for a long breath, then nodded. "Bring her." The nursemaid stepped forward, gently offering the crying child, wrapped in soft violet silk, small crystalline tears sliding down her cheeks. Jonah took the baby with practiced care. She was warm and trembling, her tiny fists balled tight. "Hey there," Jonah whispered softly. "You're okay. I'm here now." The crying slowed. Not stopped, but faltered. The room went still. He began to hum. Not a Varellan chant. Not a universal lullaby. Just a simple human tune. A melody passed through generations. Something his grandmother used to hum on long evenings back on Earth. The child hiccuped. And then silence. The baby looked up at him with eyes, and yawned. Then closed her eyes and curled against his chest. Fast asleep. No one spoke for a long moment. Then the queen stepped forward slowly, as if afraid to disturb the peace. How did you do that?" she asked, voice hushed. "I don't know," Jonah said softly. "I think maybe she just needed someone whose thoughts were calm. Babies feel things, you know? Maybe all the stress in the room was too much." He gently handed the sleeping heir back to the stunned nursemaid. Eloreth looked at him as if seeing him for the first time. "A human," she said, "and yet you carry peace within you like an elder of the stars." Jonah shrugged. "Most of the time I just carry dirt under my nails." A strange, quiet laugh escaped the queen's lips. Half a breath, half disbelief. "You have done what no one else in my court could," she said. "You calm my child. I'm glad I could help." "You will stay," she said, not a question, but a decree. Jonah blinked. "Stay." "My daughter responded to you. That is rare. Our bond with our young is sacred. I wish you near her." He hesitated. "I'm not a nanny, Your Majesty." "No, you are not," Eloreth said. "You are something else, and I would learn what that is." Over the weeks that followed, Jonah was granted rooms within the inner palace. Not as a prisoner, not quite as a guest, but something in between. He didn't know what to make of the Queen's attention at first. She visited often, asked questions, sometimes about Earth, sometimes about him. She listened closely, with a focus that felt personal. And the child, Amira, continued to grow strong and peaceful. When Jonah was near, she laughed. She cooed. Her cries rarely returned. One day, during a garden walk, Queen Eloreth spoke quietly. "My people think I am cold. They say I rule with my mind, never my heart." "You care more than they know," Jonah replied. She looked at him. "And you, what are you really? You hold no power. Yet my child reaches for you before even me." Jonah's smile was faint. Maybe she doesn't see power. Maybe she just sees love. Eloreth's eyes lingered on his face. "I am not supposed to be this curious about a human," she whispered. "And I'm not supposed to be here in the palace," he said, "talking with the Queen. But here we are." That evening, during a celebration of unity, the Queen stood with Amira in her arms. Jonah stood near the back of the chamber, unsure of his place. He wasn't court. He wasn't family. Until the Queen lifted her hand. "This human," she said, her voice echoing through crystal walls, "held my child when no one else could. He brought peace, not with weapons, not with wealth, but with warmth." She looked straight at him. "I named Jonah Wren as child guardian of the Varellan heir." Gasps echoed. Even Jonah's knees buckled slightly. "But more than that," she continued, her voice softer now, "I name him friend and companion, for in his hands I saw not just care, but something I thought I had lost." She stepped forward, Amira now resting in her arms peacefully. "Will you accept this, Jonah of Earth?" she asked. He looked at her, at the baby, at the room filled with eyes, and then he nodded. "Yes." A cheer erupted, one that began in Varellan tongues, but quickly blended with human voices. He stepped forward, and this time it wasn't a crying child he held, but a future full of unexpected hope.